This is a new channel for me. This is the Yarn Eatery, and I want to welcome you first of all to my craft room / office. So it serves dual purpose. I want to share my craft with the world and hopefully increase your knowledge of crafting. And I just think that craft gives us so much in life, and if everybody in the world crafted, the world would be a much better place. And I think we could have world peace, guys. I really do. That and Jesus. So without much further ado, I'm going to meet you back at the desk. Real quick though, I want to give a shout out to Krista at the Secret Yarnery. I'm running off of your energy. Thank you. Love you, girl, and you are so inspirational for me. So I don't want this video to be a slip-slop of information tonight. I'm going to try to stay focused. Got a lot going on. We're going to do an unboxing from Ice Yarn. I'm not an affiliate of any yarns yet, I should say. I may eventually be that, but for now I just want to help people learn to break free of patterns. Pattern addiction, and you buy that certain pattern and you think you're going to make it and it's going to be so beautiful and look just like theirs and fit you just perfect, and guess what? It doesn't. And then you're stuck with yarn. You think, oh, I bought the wrong yarn, I bought the wrong needle, I got this wrong, that wrong, and then you just ditch it all and take your walk of shame to the return desk sometimes. I did that many times. So I will meet you back at the desk and we're going to talk about some skills and get unpacking that yarn. Okay, so my setup is very simple right now. I have just a little tripod I bought at Walmart. My phone's on there, and it comes with a little clip-on light that's really not, that's without, me covering it and with the light. So it's really not doing much of anything that I can tell. So hopefully you can see well enough tonight. Behind me you'll see my pegboard wall display I've been working on. I thought I wanted to fill it up and make it rainbow-like, but I touch my yarn too much, and I'll start a project, decide no, I'm not doing that one, and frog it and put the yarn back up. There's also some in the cubbies back there, and there's some projects. Oh, guess what? My husband Abby's home, so not sure how well this video making is going to go, but he's from Nigeria, and little loud talker on his phone, and I guarantee you, I would bet probably $50 that he is on the phone when he comes in or shortly thereafter. So okay, back to the crafting. Right here is a virus blanket starting, which it's got several shades of pink. I'll show you a close-up when I give you a closer tour another day. But I decided I didn't want to keep going with that. I was planning on making it into like a loose fitting boxy top. And those were the colors put in the pack that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I didn't like the yarn enough. It seemed too fine, almost like a fingering weight. And then the colors didn't seem to be my thing to wear. There's an antique dough bowl back there. I put my mostly fingering, some sport weight little balls left over from projects here and there. These are project bags. They're all in gallon bags and 2-gallon bags and stuffed into those bags. And then there's yarns in the cubbies below. We'll get into that later, another video. So tonight, where to start? Let me get a sip of my coffee. Helps to clear the mind. Scuffed up old cup. We're gonna start first with, how about what I'm wearing? I'm sure a lot of people would like to make something like it. It's very much like the Euphoria Cardi that has been on Pinterest. I bought that pattern, but I didn't like the granny stitch that they used, the granny shells on every other row. So I just made up kind of a window panes design, where it's got every other row is 2 double crochet. It starts in the center of the back. Stand up and show it off for you. I added a hood. So this is my design, and I've thought about publishing patterns, and I just don't want to go through the whole, make a PDF, figure out all the sizes. You can crochet and you can crochet it to fit you. And if you don't know how to crochet, I'm going to teach you how to crochet. So this has a button, and I got tired of trying to figure out, well, which is inside and outside, because they're basically the same. So I just stuck a button on both sides here, back to back. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You get it inside out one day, who cares? Your button's there, you're good to go. All right, and then the hood, love the hood. It's not very purposeful, but it adds a bit of style to it. If you want to look like a little woodland nymph or a druid, depending on your mood that day, it's got you covered. And then it's got the flowy front to it. The yarn is Mandala Baby. They have it at my Myers, and I think Walmart's carrying it as well. Plus you can find it on Lion Brand's site. So I don't need to link to that. Y'all can find Walmart and Meijer. And the Mandala Baby. Regular Mandala will work as well. I just happen to like this colorway. It's got grays, lilac, purple, plum, more of a lighter purple, more gray, and some white. And the white kind of has a nice, not sure if you can see that very well, it has some speckle to it where it's getting into the next colorway. A very easy project. You basically crochet to wherever you want your shoulders to end. And then you're gonna just stop crocheting on two sides up toward the top and make an armhole. So we can do this one from start to finish. Gosh, I can't edit, so I better straighten up my verbiage. From start to finish. We can do this together if you want. I want to know in the comments below what y'all want to see, because there's so much that I can teach, and I don't want to leave beginners behind. But I don't want y'all that have a good knowledge of crochet or knitting, whatever we get into, to feel like, you know, you don't have much to learn here. I believe that we all have something to teach each other. Even beginners, you know, my friend Trish, she taught me how to do a little slip knot quicker than I was doing before. I still do it out of my old habit way, but you know, she doesn't know how to crochet as much as I do, but she taught me that little slip knot years ago, and I was like, she just took it, flipped her fingers, and pulled like that. And I'm like, ah, okay. So we all have something to teach each other and contribute. So I want to be a well-rounded channel. All right, so this, I'll just call it my window pane hooded cardie. If anybody is interested in learning that, whether you ask for it or not, I'm eventually going to put it up. It just depends when. So that's kind of up to y'all. Another one that I have in process, it was a whippy. That's from Krista's channel. Sorry, I learned some new acronyms. It's a work in progress pending yarn. So I got more yarn for it. It is Yarn B. And this is basically just like Lion Brand's Feels Like Butter. But they seem to have more colors of it at Hobby Lobby in the Yarn B. So I didn't bring my glasses. Okay, we're going to pause for just a sec. Okay, yeah, I'm back because I got my glasses. And I gave the husband a heads up that we are recording, and I don't know how to edit, nor do I want to have to learn to do that. So, okay, back to the yarn. This, as I said, is Yarn B, and it is called Breathe Deep. Soft Coral is this colorway, and I am pairing it for a kimono style cardie. I think y'all will really like this one. And the box stitch, or some people call it the corner to corner stitch, but I'm not doing corner to corner. It's just, you just keep going straight. And the increases, it's A-line shaping that I came up with, that you basically, it just disappears into the stitch. So you can't really see it, it's not real noticeable, and you get a nice slow shape to the bottom of the cardie, and it goes about down to knee length. You can make yours as long as you want. This yarn feels so yummy. Full price at Hobby Lobby is $3.99 for the Yarny Breathe Deep, which I need to do right now. You get 216 yards. It's 100 grams, 3.3 ounces. And for those of you that are metric system, 198 meters. About 216 yards for the low price of $3.99. So that, to me, there's great value in that yarn, and it's so soft. I'm using an H hook with it, but you really could, if you wanted yours a little more drapey, you could probably go up to a J. It calls for a G hook. Now, I very rarely use G hooks. I typically use an H or an I, sometimes a J or a K, depending on the yarn, but for wearable things, I tend to go for, you know, 2 to 4 weight yarn, usually a 3. And so these are the 3 yarns, those 3 colorways. This lighter one is the soft coral. This one is mauve. It's kind of a dusty rose color. And this one is brown sugar. Yum yum. From what I can tell, these are pretty true to color, close to it. Might be a little bit brighter on my end of things. This one's like a baby's breath paint color. So this is basically going to be kind of a color blocking, color fade. And I'm starting with the sleeves. They're a kimono style sleeve. And you basically, if you can stitch a rectangle or a square, you can learn to make one of these. And if you can measure your bust, take half of that, that's your neckline. You know, basically, I mean, it's all geometry and ratios, proportions. So we'll get into more proportions as we go along on each video. We'll talk about proportions and ratios. So this is a sleeve. Once it's doubled, it becomes your sleeve, and then you have both rectangles on, and you sew up your back up to about where you would make a neckline. So about here down, the 2 rectangles will be sewn together. And then you sew shut some of the sleeve on each side, and then you'll have a nifty little opening in the front, and then we pick up and stitch down from below the bust or at the bust line, stitch down and increase as you go about every 3 or 4 rows, so that you have an A shape. If you want an A shape, you don't have to do that, but you can if you want to, and it's fairly simple and it blends right in. So blending the colors, I'm going to do it somehow where it's just like couple rows of this come in, and then back to this a little bit, and then a few more rows of this, and then, you know, back to what, like maybe 1 row of this. So like 5 rows, you know, of something, and then come in with 1, then 3, then 5 again. Work with odd numbers so that we'll maintain some sort of a zigzag design with the color blending. So this would be a slower project that I think we can work in detail on a, you know, a playlist of tutorials for that. Let me show you real quick the one that I have made. It's a little bit different pattern up at the top, but in essence the same theory. This I made with Jamie, I think it's Jamie Poundalove or something like that. No, I lied, sorry. This is Sweet Delight Yarn Bee. So it's a sport weight. These are the arms. And you can put a button on this if you want to. It's kind of got built-in buttonholes. Just pick a hole. You know, I use my, I have a sterling silver, I think it's sterling. It's a silver little ram's head shawl pick thing that I've been wearing with it. And then some of my brooches that my aunt gave me before she passed away. I'm getting quite hot, so I'll go ahead and try this on for you. This is an everyday kimono cardi. It's really great. I don't know if you can see, but see, it kind of takes its own shape. You know, cinch in at the bust. You got a nice flow to the sleeves. And the shaping is so gradual you barely notice it. But that one is definitely about knee length. And it's got just a shell stitch up at the top. And then the bottom is that box stitch that I just showed you from the other one. And the increases are under the arm here. See if you can spot an increase. Kind of dark, but the increases just melt right in. That's the beauty of it. I think there might be one right here, somewhere around here. So, not a difficult project. It's very easy. Okay. So we can go from that. I'm just gonna throw that one over there. I'll get that later. Let me put these back away. Talk amongst yourselves, haha. Please do like and share and comment. Critiques, some. I don't mind some, but I'm gonna try to read comments, and I try to take nice critiques to heart and to mind, and see what I can improve upon. While we're here at the desk, this is a little. It started out as a mug rug from a coffee mug because I have a glass top table that I thrifted roadside. Somebody was throwing it out. It's a little end table actually, and it's like a burnt red color frame, and then it's got the glass top, and everything slides off my table. It drives me nuts. And with all my Yarny stuff, it just doesn't work. So, and I got my little turtles that I use for my stitching. I'm going to share those, but this here was just a spare ball of yarn I had laying around. It's acrylic, and this was actually taking the shape of like a bowl, even though it was increasing and increasing. You know, it was cupping really bad. So, you know what I did? You know what you need to do? Any acrylic that you don't like that's not draping nicely, I don't care what stitch you got, as long as you don't care if it comes out a little lacy or a little limpy. Yeah, kill it. Kill it, kill it. You get your steam iron out and you just put it straight on there, but make sure your steam's on. You don't want to melt it. We want to kill it nicely, kill it softly. We don't want to murder it, but you can kill any acrylic as well as animal fibers. You can whip them into shape. Now it lays nice and flat, and it works great for my little table. And right now it's in here. I do my makeup here in the mornings when I wear makeup. So now I've got another one of those going because I decided this one's not big enough for that coffee table. I might go ahead and add some more to it. You can add more later. It didn't melt it. I can go into the stitches and add more to it, but that was the last of that yarn. So I had this one. This is the Soft and Sleek from Hobby Lobby. Love, love, love the feel of this, but let me warn you, it doesn't make a good campfire cardi. It was way too heavy and bulky. I probably should have used like a needle that was 2 or 3 sizes bigger, just because that stitch, or just change stitches, but I was kind of on my learning curve still. I don't remember what colorway this is, but it's a fantastic print. Almost has a batik look to it, to the print. So it's kind of color blended. It's got corals and a dusty red, brown, and some black and white and gray. So this one has not been killed yet. It's pending its killing. It almost looks like a hat right now. A bad, ugly fedora. It's not quite done, but make ya. What's his name that rode the horse through town with the mail? Revere, Paul Revere. Did he deliver mail, or did he just? I knew he warned that the British were coming. 1 and 2 lights, yeah. Okay, so on with the show. One of the main reasons I needed the mug rug that turned into a little placemat that's going to turn into something even bigger was because I like to stitch in my recliner. And I have these little turtles. I will try to remember to post a link to this guy because these are just cute as can be. If you're looking for something that'll hold your yarn cake, it's nice to have cakes of yarn, but eventually, I mean, if you stitch as fast as I do, you're going to be yanking and yanking on that cake, and it's going to be, you're either going to gut it, digging from the center of it, or you're going to roll it around using it from the outside. And if you get it from the center, then you get, eventually that's going to collapse and be all ugly and tangly again. So it's like, why did I even cake it? So what I like to do is cake the yarn. I don't cake every skein. Let's get real. But I like to cake it with my yarn baller and winder and the Swift. And then I use my turtles sometimes. I love my turtles. This turtle is cast iron. And this guy has a studio in Brown County. He's on like the Backroads tour or something like that. You can go down to Brown County, Indiana. And I got 3 of these turtles from him and his wife. His wife paints the little colors on here. I don't know if she sponge painted it. It looks kind of faded at the edges. But this one's my blue one, then I got a green one, and then I think the other one's yellow. So we had these turtles, minus the pick there. And he welds these pieces together. They were like, I would say architectural findings or something that he gets from just like Menards or something like that. And I don't know if he cut this part here for its little flapper, his little feet. And then he's got these cute little feet right here and his little tiny tail. So it has some weight to it. It's a good little yarn holder. I seen these and immediately thought, because they were sitting, and when they sit, they're kind of angled like that. So I could just see a spike off his back and my cake sitting on there and it coming off just so, you know. So it was really great to find those. I think I paid $17 a piece. It was really a bargain for the skill and the time that he put into it, because he does all these welds. This is like a railroad spike head or something like that. It's even got a number 8 on it right here. Like a V8 or something like that. I think it was a railroad spike. And then he took the thing off of it. And this is like some other kind of element that he found at the Menards or something. So he welded these on, the little heads he welded on. Then his wife does the painting, and I asked him to special order these for me to do a spot weld. I think that's what he called that. To put the little spikes on their backs. And they sit on my bookshelf when I'm not using them, below the yarn wall. They're just great. I love my little turtles. And then, you know, if you get down here at the bottom of your cake, sometimes it'll get like, it'll spin and it'll get caught up on itself, underneath itself or whatever. And it might do that for a few minutes and you don't notice. Big deal. Flip it over, untangle, pop it back on. So that's one of my favorite finds. If you're interested in other crafters, things that you can use for your stitching, great little buy there. Okay, now that I've gone on probably 15 minutes on the turtles, turtle, let's get on to something else. Okay, next up, I'm going to talk about this yarn first. This is not ice. This was an order from eBay because I had seen the Red Heart. I don't use Red Heart much, but I seen the roll with it on the end cap, and I thought that's never going to stripe the way I want it to, because I don't really make rectangle scarves much. And anything that is variegated is going to pull on me in ways I don't desire sometimes. So it needs to be something like a shawl that would grow so that the pooling will be less noticeable and even out, you know. So I started a shawl with the roll with it, but I got it from Hobby Lobby, and there was only 2 skeins available of the roll with it, Red Heart roll with it, in the colorway Catwalk. And that's what my label said. Well, I've got 2 of them. It's a 3/4 shawl. Then I'm going to put a shawl ribbing type of shawl collar on it toward the front. You know, all the front and the neck. With probably a blue color. But it's just got fabulous colors. And I don't know why I was so attracted to it. This part I've already killed with the steam iron. And this is new stitching. I don't know if you can see the difference in the drape. When you kill something with the steam and it's acrylic, it's not so bulky. It's more drapey. You can test it out for yourself. You'll see what I mean. But definitely have your steam on if you're going to touch the iron to it, because it is acrylic and it will melt. So I thought I want it big. I want it to come down. It's 3/4. I want it to come down over my hand on the edge, I think. And 2 skeins of that did not do it. So I ordered one off of eBay because I couldn't find it on Joann's website or Hobby Lobby's website. I don't know if they're going to carry it anymore. And they're getting harder to find, even though it's a fairly recent new yarn out that they started selling. I couldn't find it at Joann's anymore. And like I said, Hobby Lobby had some other colorways, but mine is called Catwalk. So it's going to be funny if I open this and it's not what I think it is. I'm pretty sure, fairly certain. Yes, it is the yarn. The seller on eBay, they had swapped the names of the colorways on 2 of their yarns, but I knew that this was the picture of the one that I have. So I didn't pay any attention. They named it Hollywood or something like that. This is Catwalk, and it should say it on the label here somewhere. Yep, right here. Color 656 Catwalk. Don't know if you can see that right there. So this is 150 gram, 389 yards. And I am using, I think, my eye hook with it and doing the window pane design that I did with my other hoodie I had on a few minutes ago. And I just love it. I love it. I love the colors. And I couldn't figure out why I'm drawn to so many colors in one yarn. Why? Why so many colors, Jenny? So, I don't know, I love all colors. And everybody always asks me, especially work, they'll say, well, what's your favorite color? Because they're giving out gifts to everybody. And I'm like, I always tell them I don't have a favorite anymore. I have some that I look better in, but it depends if it's something you're giving me that I'm going to wear, something I'm going to look at, you know, it just depends. So, I think you should wear what you feel good in. There's some things like this sweater, you know, I could put it on, and before I even looked in the mirror, I started putting it on, and I felt good in this. I feel good in peach. So wear what you feel good in. And that's the colors that probably look good on you, but I'm typically a cool color person. And fortunately, this is not the wrong colorway. I picked it by the picture, not the title that they had. And it's a match. So we're gonna roll with it again. And I love that it's single ply. And it does get nice and drapey if you hit it with the steam iron. Roll with it melange. So let's see. Oh, and also because this is 3/4, when I put it on right now, it's not long enough for me yet, but it will have the shawl collar here with the solid color or like a kettle dye look. But you can see I got quite a bit left to do. So I'm probably just going to use this one. However long it gets, that's how long it's staying. But I'm hoping I get at least to here. And I may do a whole blue border around the other 3 sides. Do the turquoise neckline. But down here, this is the back. And doing the 3/4 shawl makes the back kind of boring. Like you get a square on one hip and a square edge on the other hip. And then here, I always love triangle shawls, but I want the coverage of the 3/4. So what my fix plan is, this is my fix for this. dilemma is to make that flat edge at the bottom, the straight edge at the bottom of the back, a triangle by making scallops with that same blue that's going to be the shawl collar. Do the scallops and then go around, all the way around. But I want to do the decreasing scallops so that it comes to a point in the back of just blue. Does that make sense? So we no longer have just a 3/4 shawl and it's 3/4 of a square. It's now modified to have kind of a mermaid tail at the bottom, a little action at the bottom, and then some tassels on the corners. So the back will also have a tassel, and then the fronts will also have a tassel. So glad to have that. Next up, let's see, how many minutes are we at? I'm gonna pause it, take a little break, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna warm my coffee up a bit and take a breather before we get into the unboxing. Be right back. Okay, well, I'm back. Coffee's warmed up. I want to touch base on this again. I know I just went on and on and on about this shawl, but couldn't figure out why I like these colors together so much. Well, most of these colors are also in Lion Brand Ferris Wheel, which is a new yarn for them, and it has that same texture. It's just a little bit lighter weight, I think. The single ply, which is just great. But I figured that out when I got this out of my little blanket storage. And this is a Ferris wheel window pane afghan that I made for my living room. And it's the same colors in there as my little roll with it wrap. I just love the Ferris wheel colors. And I used almost every colorway that they have. This one here is Wild Violets. Very pretty yarn. I'm making a kimono cardi out of that too as well right now. We won't get into that one right now. But that one's gonna have long sleeves. Be kind of a spring to fall because it does have some browns in it as well. I don't like Eastery colors so much. You gotta have something to ground it, I think. So oftentimes I'll wear this peachy cardi with a brown tank top. And you could wear a belt with it. I mean, it's really great if you're into belts. Sip of coffee. Let me see here. Ooh, I warmed it up a bit much. I've almost always got some kind of kimono cardi thing going. I don't care for ruanas, but if you sew up a ruana, you basically got yourself a kimono. So just depends. It's just playing with your shapes and your seams. Let me get this out of the way. So we've gone over the eBay yarn. I need to leave the seller a good review. I also knit, girls and guys. Anyone that's interested in knitting, we can do some knitting tutorials, just basic. I've done some very complicated patterns. I've made up my own patterns with knitting. Published one and didn't sell it very long, and it kind of went by the wayside on Ravelry. So I decided I want to help people break free from patterns per se. Once you learn to custom stitch and custom shape, and it's basically, especially with knitting, when you're knitting, it's just such a little stitch, you know, one unit is one stitch, a little V, that's all. And it just depends if you make the V or the bump come to the front. You know, this is garter, and this is stockinette. And this is an antler button that I got from Mass Ave Knit Shop. Love you, Susan. I'm gonna give you a plug every time I turn around, but this is Malabrigo yarn I got from her shop. I think it's the Rios. I'm really bad at getting my Malabrigos mixed up, but love, love, love it. It's a really cute hat and very simple to make. But we can do some knitting if you guys want to see some knitting. I'm just more of a crocheter. It's easier to carry around. You don't have needles poking out everywhere. You know, you can draw up one loop and pull it off your hook and you're good to go for a while. Can't do that so much with knitting. You gotta put it on stitch savers or whatever you call it, that I never really got into. I would just cram them onto my cable needle and then roll it all up, shove it in a bag, and that's what's in most of those bags down there. Unfinished objects, mostly knitting. So not that I don't love them. There's a Stephen West or two design in there. You know, if I just, my box, I wrote in permanent marker, finish up, almost there, you can do it. So encouraging myself to get into that box because those particular projects are almost done. And you can just consider it, instead of a UFO, an unfinished object, or a whip, it's a head start. You got a gift? You need a gift? Oh, okay. Got a couple rows left on this thing. Here, look what I made for you. And they don't know that it's been shoved away and pigeonholed for maybe a year. I don't really do that, but I should. I have done it once or twice, but I can't remember a specific project. I'm just sure I have. So kind of a confession, non-confession, incriminate myself kind of deal. But I do love this hat, and it matches my coat. That's why I bought this yarn. My coat's kind of a deep red color. The only thing I'm not too happy with, I got a tail popping out, but I don't like the center. It's bumped up, so I really need to hit that with some steam and just smack it in there and get it to stay down. All right, on to the ice yarn unboxing. I'm just afraid there's a project I've been wanting to show y'all, and I'm gonna forget it, but that's why we make more videos. So this is the yarn that, let me start with, I got 3 daughters, and they're all grown and married, and I have 2 granddaughters. And my oldest is an avid crocheter, as much as her mother. My middle has recently gotten into weaving and doing gorgeous work with that, and she loves it. And the youngest, the baby's in college. She's working toward her master's. And understandably so, she doesn't have much time to stitch. But we won't get into shaming the baby right now. Okay, so she's doing really good. She's doing what she needs to do. On to the unpacking. This is me and my oldest, Beth. I'm sorry, I'm going to say your name, baby. But this is our order from Ice Yarns. It comes from Turkey. Which right now, I heard from the Secret Yarnery today. I'll share it with y'all. Krista said they're having a sale, $1 off a pack. So, great deal. Your shipping will almost probably be 40% of your total. The shipping is outrageous, but their prices are great. And I think it's worth it's still a savings because of the kinds of yarns that you can get and the weights and the different colorways. They have a lot of generics that are the same as mandala, you know. So it's just a great place. I have one Magic Light sweater that I've had tucked away that I'm going to try to seam up this weekend, and we'll do a video on it soon. It's dang near done, so it'd be a shame if I don't do it because it'd be a great project to get into since I order more Magic Light yarn. So let's have at it. This was 4.1 kilos. Our total was about $116 together. I'm scared to even cut. Mine was about $55 with the shipping, and then my daughter's was $60 or so. I don't want to cut the lovely packages. Okay, well, it's gonna rip. We're gonna rip it open here. I see one of yours, Best. You're gonna love it. I hope you love it. I love it. Woo, I see another yarn of Best. Try not to bust your eardrums. Okay. Like I said before, what does this look like? I did an Adirondack wrap in this. Y'all that like shawls, the Adirondack wrap is awesome. Thank you. I can't remember the gal's name that designed it, but I've done that, I think, twice now. Love the Adirondack wrap. It wears so nice, and it has such a nice drape. And you just feel, even though it's a casual look, and the yarn way is, you know, this is casual. It's got some plum and some beige and gold and gray and kind of a salmon-y rust color, and then more plum. This is basically mandala. This is the Cakes DK, I believe. Yep, Cakes DK, dark gray, brown. Trying to remember the colorway that they call it on the mandala. But y'all, if you look at mandala at Walmart and Meijer, y'all can see for yourself. This is mandala. Just sold under Ice Yarns. And that's so often the case. You'll see it at the yarn shop, and it might be Serdar at the yarn shop. So it just depends. You know, I think there's probably just several mills, and they all kind of like an OEM part for a car, you know, slap their brand on it. So that is Elizabeth. This is Elizabeth. More Cakes DK. And this one, she wanted pink and gray, but I think she thought this was pink and gray. It's for a little girl baby blanket. It's different shades of pink. Love it. And it looks like mandala baby, maybe. But the blues are like really subtle and really a slow transition. I love it. Goes from a lighter to the deeper, kind of a Care Bear colorway. That's what it looks like. Looks like the Care Bears. I love those colors. Beth, you're really gonna love these. Oh, there's Beth's Cakes DKs. Oh, she got 4 of that, I think. Ooh, okay. Trying to go in order. Yeah. So this is her second pack of the fall colorway. Okay. Elizabeth, you're going to love this. Ice Yarns Denim. Is this one yours or mine? Cotton acrylic. US size 3 to 6 needle, I think. 80% cotton, 20% acrylic. It's the denim. I think this is yours, Beth. Lilac. It is so pretty. The depth and the color is just amazing. I can't wait to feel it. It looks like the jeans yarn. Lion Brand jeans yarn. So, do love that. I'm sorry the lighting's just not the best here. My other daughter is into photography some, the one that does the weaving, and her husband does like a podcast or something, and I think I'm going to get his light thing from him so we have better lighting in here. That little thing on my phone does jack diddly. Oh well, at least we're recording. So this is, I don't know if you can see this. It is like a frosty, it almost looks like those speckle yarns. It's so pretty. So pretty. I can't wait to feel it too. So it's 80% cotton, 20% acrylic. I bet that would have some nice drape. Let's see. This one. Yeah, this one is best. This is the rainbow. And I'm not sure if you can really see that at all. Sorry about that. I don't want to open her package. But Mama might. Okay, Mama did, Beth. Sorry. Mama opened your package. Okay, you can see it a lot better out of the package. Let's see. This is like a teal. Premium acrylic, 100% premium acrylic, 240 meters. It's a little bit more than that come out in the yards. And it's a turquoise, plums to gray, and it looks like it goes from gray to a light tan to beiges and browns. And then back to grays, into the purples, into the turquoise again. Very pretty yarn. This is very similar. Looks like it's close to Red Heart's Unforgettable as far as weight and the sheen and the single ply-ness to it. Also comparable, but I think a lighter weight overall to Lion Brand Landscapes. So very nice yarn. It's a 3-weight, which is basically sport weight, I believe. I'm telling you, I love 3. So that is Elizabeth. Sorry, babe, I'm gonna pack you back up here. It's sticking. There we go. I didn't handle it too much. Okay, the rest of this I believe is mine. Okay, I wanted to try out some new yarns because I had tried their Magic Light, the Magic Light, and that other sweater, and I've had it a few years. I got that off of eBay, from a seller on eBay, but I had not ordered directly from Ice before. So this was my first order with Ice. And honestly, y'all, I thought most of what they sold was that fun fur looking stuff. The little fuzzy stuff. I've ordered another one of those that was Ice yarns off of eBay. I have a wrap started with it. Maybe we'll finish it soon. It's pretty. This is a Lara. It is a purple color.